hello, so what is the thing with anxiety? Because it's a little bit like nearly everyone has anxiety. So let's do another short Sunday seeds, short and to the point. Now, I don't have too much anxiety right now because I went on a lovely motorbike trip. Just a short little 20K round trip to charge my batteries and to charge the batteries of my bike. So I feel, I had a bit of a release. I've been out, I've been doing something that I like. And I stepped out of a routine. And we have to do a bit more of that. But we also have to become a little bit more discerning about what is really going on in our lives. Because if I look at the amount of people that tell me that they have anxiety, that for a very big part of the people that tell me that it is overwhelming or frequent or even daily. Now, when we live like something, with something like that, which can be debilitating and which can influence every sector of our life, then we it's a great idea that we become aware of the fact that we can get better and we can understand about it and we can get a handle on it. And we don't just have to accept it as a condition that we have to live with somehow or go take a pill for, because there's a reason why we are anxious. Now, a lot of these, a lot of this can be answered with a few short questions. So, the first thing I want to know from you is: have you always been anxious? Are you going to call yourself, I'm just the anxious kind? Because that will tell you if you have always been anxious, if you've been anxious as long as you can remember, if you are anxious about a lot of stuff, then we have to go back and we have to go and find your roots. Now we have to go and examine it and then help you with something, fairly simple, straightforward, like cognitive behavioral therapy. We can help you to understand the roots of that forever anxiety and to start behaving in a different way, which is going to settle new pathways in your brain. So that can be done. Then, also, which is never bad, is to put into practice these practices like meditation, like yoga, Tai Chi, especially ones that has a strong spiritual, a strong calming effect, one that has a connection to body movement. So all of these are excellent for us, and also body work. There are various kinds of body work. My favorite thing is kinesiology, because our body knows what's going on, and we feel trauma in our bodies. Our bodies suffer from us feeling trauma, and we have health risks that are accelerated because we are in an anxious state. And this one is lifelong. This is all that judgment we put upon ourselves, that decision that we've made. This is just who I am. I'm just anxious. You don't have to be. That's not the normal human state. It is something that you have made your own, but you don't have to go under that label forever. And you are not anxious. You are not the anxiety. You don't have to identify with it. You are experiencing anxiety. That's the difference. You are not the condition. You don't have to identify with it. You can say, I am experiencing anxiety. In that way, you are preparing yourself for the fact that you can stop experiencing anxiety. Right, the second thing is if you've had a traumatic event and you are constantly triggered into subconsciously or consciously triggered into something that reminds you of the event. And whenever we don't work with trauma at the time, it becomes post-traumatic stress disorder. Part and parcel of it is also anxiety, and anxiety by itself is a disorder and or can be a disorder. So we do want to deal with it. again, you can, talk therapy helps a lot, but you also want to start bringing in some practices. So I must actually put a link down below for a few books on anxiety, which got amazing breathing techniques, and that will help you. It's like rescue, but it's more you are involved. You don't have to take a pill to feel better in the moment. You can immediately take your attention away from the trigger, the stressor, and you can become in control of your body through breathing techniques and visualization techniques. And so I'll put some amazing books, links to amazing books in there that are full of these exercises. They are very helpful, very professionally done. Then the other thing that we need to look at is, how do you feel about yourself? How acceptable you feel? How's your self-esteem? Because just if your self-esteem is not good, you are already going to be more anxious about how people perceive you and how you show up in the world, and you're going to put a lot of stress in yourself. So for that, the obvious solution is work on your self-esteem. So then the biggest reason in the end why we are constantly anxious is that we don't know how to be present in the moment. We are in the future and we are trying to prevent something. We're always trying to prevent something. We're always trying to have control over something that's impossible to control. I'm anxious about my child coming home tonight. I need to stay awake because maybe something will happen. You staying awake is not going to stop anything from happening. What you are doing is, where you are powerful is in the moment. If you have a conversation in the moment about the child going out, and to have a conversation and make sure that the child is in responsibility mode and that you've given everything you could, and that you are done now. Here's the keys, go. You're now an adult and I can't have control over you anymore. I'm going to trust that my upbringing was good enough. So that's hard because we want to feel like we are good parents because we are lying awake worrying. And that doesn't make us good parents. Good parents is what we are doing in the moment. In the moment when you give a keys, you have a conversation. That is making you a good parent. Lying awake in the night is punishing yourself. Now we have practices like that for nearly everything. If I do this and this and this, I can prevent that and that happening to somebody else. And we do a lot of it. If I do this and this and this, I will not lose that person, and then I won't feel the hurt of losing that person. If I don't do this and this, then maybe that person will like me more. And then I won't lose that one, and that person won't judge me and reject me. So we don't have these thoughts consciously, but some of them we do. We just know that we go into this over-analyzing, revolving monkey mind because we feel we have to. And like, again, let's go back to the first example. You're lying awake at night waiting for a child to come home. It's not going to make that child not have an accident. That is not, it's not adding anything to anybody. You are completely powerless in that moment. The more you give over to the facts that you don't have control over, the more you start concentrating on being in the moment where you are present, the less time you will spend wasting and chasing up your anxiety. So if you look at those 4 examples, which is more true for you? And where do you need more help? And go and please post for me in the comments, because you know what, I like your comments and I'm going to always come and reply. And I always create content according to what my clients are going through or what you are posting here for me. So I'd like to know, are you a combination of all of these? How long have you felt anxiety? How bad is it? Is it overwhelming? Do you actually have to get out the brown paper bag so that you can breathe? Do you have hyperventilate? Are you on medication all the time? Would you like to go off it? I would like to know all the details. Let me know. And if you are interested, we can do more work on this, because I do know a lot of people have severe anxiety. And the rest of us are very stuck in the monkey mind loop where we are too much in the future and anxious because of that. So just a little exercise for you to go and try. When you feel in your body but you're not feeling good, when you feel anxious in your body, ask yourself where your mind is. Is your mind in right here and now? Because right here and now, if you're just sitting here watching this, I'm just talking to you, everything is good. You know, I'm happy to talk to you. I hope you're happy to listen to me. You can take a deep breath. You can look at your surroundings. You can look at your blessings. We all have blessings. Every one of us have a blessing somewhere. And just take a deep breath in and out and say, I've got this. Because the minute we stop doing that and our mind goes to the future, we are trying to control stuff we don't have any control over. And that's a very big part of the anxiety loop. Okay, so if anybody's watching, give me a little of an indication there. Give me a thumbs up or a heart. You know I like the hearts. And if you're catching this afterward, do the same. And please share if you know somebody needs this. Somebody needs this. So a lot of people are part of this anxiety, the pandemic, and of course our current world circumstances is very much part and parcel of why so many of us are experiencing severe anxiety. And on a parting note, I just want to tell you this. The world where it is today, where none of us know what's going to happen, where none of our expectations are anything remotely like it used to be. It's impossible to plan. We cannot plan long term. We live with health threats. We hear bad news. We hear good news. We don't know which way to go. The economy is in tatters, and political situations are dire. And so, how on earth are we supposed to be not anxious? It's really hard to be not anxious. It is only if we are going to be focusing on the good in our life and on the stuff that we actually have control over. I have control over how I feel this moment. I have control over whether I choose to be thankful and look for the positive. I have control over the connections that I keep going, about my passions that I'm finding, nurturing, still concentrating on, because those are the things that make life worth living. The people around us, our passions, and in a time when it's hard to plan for the future, that is extremely important to hold on to. And letting go of outcomes, because really, there is not a single person that can tell us what the outcome is going to be of where we are right now. So once we actually let go of that and we go, let me focus on what I do have control over, this present moment, what I can do right now, what I can't be in the future, but I can make plans and I can think alternatively and I can investigate what is working for me and what's not working for me, because we're out of routine. So it's a great time to do that. And we can continue to develop ourselves and to find inside us what makes us happy. Because the spark inside us is more important than what goes on outside of us in the world out there. The spark inside us is one that we are supposed to keep alive. And we keep it alive by doing meaningful things and by connecting in a meaningful way with other people, by loving ourselves and by taking great care of ourselves and spreading it wherever we can. So I'm going to leave you with that. I hope this helps somebody out there. And I'm going to wish you an amazing week and lots of love and big hug from me. And see you soon.